live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
Potential closure for a local family after an elderly woman is killed in her home. The amount of time the man convicted in her death will spend in prison after a judge called his actions shockingly evil.
Plus, a proposal in Illinois would ease some of the pain for families of fallen first responders. Supporters explain why they think passing the law is so important.
And a busy Rockford street is now reopened. This comes after months of construction. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson.
A Machesney Park man who killed a woman last year is sentenced.
Shane Bouma will spend life in prison plus 15 years. Bouma pleaded guilty last month to first-degree murder and robbery charges. In January, Bouma broke into Ellen Marsh's home. Bouma strangled the 74-year-old and then stole items. He also said he was hiding from investigators after his girlfriend reported him for domestic battery. During the sentencing hearing last week, he called himself a monster and poor excuse for a human being. He also asked for forgiveness. Bouma will not be eligible for parole.
A former Rockford Park District ice skating coach is found guilty of sexual assault. 83-year-old Eugene Heffron now faces up to 7 years in prison. He was convicted of 3 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse. Heffron inappropriately touched one of his students during lessons. He was charged in 2018 after 3 of his former skaters came forward. The abuse happened between 1999 and 2006 at the Carlson Ice Arena and Riverview Ice House. His victim was just 9 years old when the abuse began. Trial dates for the remaining victims have not been set. Heffron is due to be sentenced January 27th.
Messages of encouragement and support greet visitors outside the Winnebago County Justice Center. Chalk drawings on the sidewalk are part of the YWCA's annual Week Without Violence. The event advocates for survivors of domestic and sexual violence. Organizers' goal is to raise awareness and end violence against women and girls. Winnebago County Sheriff's Deputy Chief Tammy Stanley says 1 in 3 girls in the U.S. is the victim of physical, verbal, or emotional abuse.
Show survivors are not alone, and through the YWCA's mission of eliminating racism and promoting women, they'll see that our support is there for them.
The YWCA has set aside a week in October to advocate for victims of gender-based violence for more than 30 years.
Advocates in Illinois push to get more support for Gold Star and fallen hero families. They hope lawmakers will pass a bill making its way through the Illinois House.
Groups came together in Rockford to publicly back the proposal. Our Nicole Delgado was there. Nicole, what did they have to say?
Eric, Mimi, our first responders are always there when we call. But what happens to their families when tragedy hits and they pay the ultimate sacrifice? That is the worry for many first responders.
If their officer gives the ultimate sacrifice, whether they can pay their mortgage, whether they get groceries, whether they can afford the funeral costs. I mean, they should not have to worry about that. That should be the least of their worries.
Vice President of the Illinois Concerns of Police Survivors, Debbie Wiseman, tells me she knows exactly what families are going through because she lost her younger brother, Trooper Mark Tony, on September 20th, 2011, in a high-speed chase. Wiseman says these families shouldn't worry about anything else when their loved ones paid the ultimate sacrifice.
Every time we lose an officer, it brings it back like it happened yesterday. So these families deserve to be taken care of.
This Gold Star and Fallen Heroes Family Support Act is designed to help Illinois fallen first responder families to remain financially secure all year around.
Nobody wants this money. They'd rather have their loved ones there, but at least we're trying to lessen the blow of a loss.
Winnebago County Sheriff Gary Caruana says first responders go into the face of danger every day. But the biggest worry to them is, will my family be okay if I'm gone? This bill ensures they will.
They budgeted $5 million, and now they're saying, well, that's not enough because of all these on-duty deaths. It's like, wow, it's sobering. But these people are out there, and they're protecting you, and they die for you.
The goal is to have a timely compensation so families don't have to wait, along with giving them up to 2 years to file a claim.
So to be able to give them the relief and to be able to say, it will be fine. Illinois will take care of you.
The hope is the bill will be approved and start helping first responder families quickly. Mimi?
All right, thanks, Nicole. In November, voters will decide who will take over 2 Illinois Supreme Court seats. Eyewitness News is keeping you connected to the Capitol. The 2 races are attracting a lot of attention and money. The Brennan Center for Justice found that twice as much money is being spent on Supreme Court races in Illinois compared to races in other states. Today, candidate Elizabeth Rochford spoke at a candidate forum for the open seat.
Also needs to be sensitive about not fostering any misimpressions that the law is dependent on the personal views of the justices who are sitting there and holding office at that particular time.
Rochford's opponent is former Lake County Sheriff Mark Curran. He previously lost a race for a congressional seat and has never served as a judge. Curran did not accept the invite to join today's forum.
The Rockford School District announces a replacement for a resigning board member. Tiana McCall will represent Subdistrict C. That's the northwest part of town around West Riverside and North Rockton Avenue. Board members selected McCall after a special meeting earlier this week. She replaces Cameron Muhammad. Muhammad submitted her resignation last month. McCall will be sworn in next Tuesday at the school board meeting. Her term will last through April of next year. After months of reconstruction, a busy Rockford Road is now open.
West State Street from Day Avenue to Independence Avenue is now allowing traffic. The road had been shut down for the past several months to upgrade the area. The street's now a 4-lane road with new storm sewers, signals, sidewalks, and a multi-use path. The entire project collected about $6.5 million as the city of Rockford partnered with IDOT to complete the project. A formal ribbon cutting is expected to take place in the next couple of weeks. President Joe Biden delivers remarks on his administration's efforts to reduce the federal deficit.
Coming up, Republicans call him out for taking economic credit so close to the midterm election.
It was a warm day across the state. Temperatures nearly 80 degrees in some spots, but the cooler weather and even some rain chances are not far away. I'll have the timing on when you'll need the umbrella again coming up in just a few minutes.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team with Eric Wilson, Mimi Murphy, Scott Leber, and meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
President Joe Biden delivered remarks on his administration's efforts to reduce the federal deficit. This comes as the U.S. gets closer to the midterm elections.
Washington correspondent Basil John reports Republicans claim Biden's taking credit for something he didn't do.
We have further proof that we're rebuilding the economy in a responsible way.
Friday, the Treasury Department said the annual federal deficit fell by nearly $1.4 trillion to about half of what it was in 2021.
This record deficit reduction includes the cost of my student loan plan and everything else we're paying for.
President Joe Biden credits his policies for making the difference.
The deficit's come down both years that I've been in office.
Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says the president's policies have the country on the right track.
We've advanced an economic plan that finally puts innovation and technology at the forefront of our national agenda.
And with the midterm elections looming, President Biden said Americans should stay away from Republicans' economic plans.
It's MAGA trickle down. The Republican plan would add about $3 trillion to the deficit.
But Republicans say it's, quote, desperate and sad for the president to take credit for economic progress. RNC Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel says it's Republican governors and legislatures that have delivered. For now, both Democrats and Republicans are urging Americans to head to the polls and decide which side should lead the country's economy after November. Reporting in Washington, I'm Basil John.
Former Donald Trump advisor Steve Bannon is sentenced to 4 months in prison for defying a congressional subpoena. The Justice Department asked for a 6 months sentence and a $200,000 fine. His fine was $6,500. Bannon refused to testify before the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th attack on the Capitol. He was convicted of 2 counts of contempt of Congress. The judge allowed Bannon to remain free while Bannon appeals.
The World Health Organization has a warning for couch potatoes. Start moving or risk illness. Its first global report on physical activity indicates 500 million people in 194 countries will develop various diseases without a boost. That includes heart disease, obesity, diabetes, stroke, dementia, and depression. The warning comes as a new global study found exercise reduces the risk of premature death by up to 30%. According to the World Health Organization, inaction will cost $27 billion a year in healthcare costs and strain already overwhelmed health services. Well, we started out this work week with some snow flurries flying, and now we're ending the week in the 70s.
When we come back, Jordan shows us the warm weather sticks around for the weekend and then abruptly leaves us.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
The temperatures today are already quite a bit warmer than they were just 24 hours ago, and even if we look a little bit further back than that, temperatures continually warming up throughout the week. We started out the week earlier on Monday. Temperatures were in the low 40s for our afternoon high. We made it up to 49 and 47 by Tuesday and Wednesday. Then we were in the 60s yesterday. Now we're in the upper 70s here today, well above average actually for this time of year. So notice just how quickly the temperatures can shift from earlier into the week by late week, talking about temperatures that feel much more like even in the summer than even where we were now in the late fall. Temperatures right now still hovering into the 70s across the area, 75 in Rockford, 73 Rochelle, still up 79 degrees up in Janesville. Temperatures continuing to remain warm even this late into the evening. Skies, though, continuing to clear. A lot of the warmth was brought on because of this strong south wind. Winds were coming out of the south close to 20 miles an hour in some spots, gusting close to 30. So it was a little bit breezy out there, but we were talking about plenty of sunshine there for the afternoon that helped to warm us up. A very clear picture going on. Satellite radar not really showing much of anything, and that remains the case even on our SkyTrack cameras across the state line. This one in particular overlooking a nice view there over the trees, definitely showing those colors out there. The SkyTrack camera out in Freeport as the sun now beginning to set. The clear skies remain the case overnight tonight, only dropping those temperatures down to around the 50-degree mark. Very mild actually for this time of year, about 10 degrees above average for our normal low temperatures for this time of year. Tomorrow afternoon, our high temperature even warmer than today potentially. We're close to 80 degrees for a lot of us, 79 officially the forecast high, but we do hold on to a lot of those winds as we still hold on to the southerly wind helping to keep us pretty warm. Those winds remaining in effect throughout much of the weekend as we continue to see this is the low-level jet pattern. This is the winds that are just above the surface remaining fairly strong as they mix down to the surface throughout much of this weekend as the system continually works its way in. That does, though, keep us clear over the next couple of days throughout much of the weekend. Not really anything going on at Futurecast here. We continue to hold on to just a little bit more cloud cover, though, as we get into the day on Sunday, and that's because of this next system that's going to work in, potentially bringing us some rain chances Sunday night into Monday, potentially all the way through into early Wednesday as well. Those rain chances still a ways away, so there's still plenty of time for those potentially to change, but we are watching those rain chances over the next couple of days. In addition to the rain, potentially some storms could work their way in Sunday night into early Monday morning. That's something, again, still a couple days out, but something we have to keep an eye on as we could see that potential for storms working in. The breezy conditions continue over the weekend. Temperatures still in the 70s with plenty of sunshine. We're down to 75 degrees by Monday. Back down into the 50s, though, by the middle of the week. With those rain chances, we dry out just a little bit, though, as we trend into the end of next week.
But even with that wind, it felt great today. Jordan, thanks.
Reagan's in next with sports.
She joins us live from Swanson Stadium to break down our overtime game of the week.
Now sports with Reagan Holgate.
It comes as no surprise that the Nick 10 football championship has come down to the last week of the regular season. Boylan will claim at least a share of the title with a win over Freeport tonight. But who will take that other half? The outcome will be determined by this game here at Swanson Stadium tonight between Belvedere North and the Guilford Vikings. For Guilford, Skylar Wolf was out last week and has been following concussion protocol. If he returns tonight, that could be big. And will the Blue Thunder's line be able to hold up against arguably the most physical line in the Nick 10 in Guilford? Those questions will be answered here soon. But the biggest thing to note with both of these teams is that they need to bounce back from a rough Week 8. Neither team wants to go into the playoffs with 2 straight losses.
It's going to be a battle, and these are the games that you want to be playing in. I'm sure their kids and coaches are very excited too, just like our kids and coaches are. You know, you want to be in a Week 9 game that means something.
So for us, put something out there you're going to be proud of. Be proud of your effort. Be proud of your attitude. Be proud of your intensity. Take all of that and just focus on getting better. That's really the message from here on out. Just get better every day and see how far we can take this thing.
There's no doubt this is a big game, and for many reasons, and the guys are excited. But 8 weeks ago, no one really would have thought that part of the Nick 10 crown would come down to this game. But for the players, that was never really in question.
I knew we were kind of a smaller group in size and in numbers, but I think me and the boys got the heart to do it, and I think we showed it.
It feels amazing that we we are going in the playoffs for the first time in 10 years. Everybody thought that the Guilford Vikings were not going to be good, but now look at us.
I've talked a lot about what's at stake for the Nick 10 championship, but let's take another look at what could happen based on the outcome of this game. As I mentioned earlier, Boylan secures at least a share of the title with a win tonight over Freeport. If Belvedere North wins over Guilford, they will tie for the conference championship, which they haven't done since 2014 with Hononegah. And Guilford could grab a piece if they win tonight and Boylan is upset by Freeport. Make sure to tune in tonight on Overtime Live at 11 p.m. on Fox 39 for highlights of this game and many more. We'll be right back.
Jordan will have another look at weather in just a moment.
But first, here's Chris Cuomo with a look at what's on News Nation tonight.
Coming up tonight on the show, Trump officially subpoenaed Willie Show and his former aide Steve Bannon sentenced to 4 months in prison. We'll break down the one big flaw in that sentence. Plus, the one and only movie icon Tyler Perry is here. All that and your phone calls tonight. That's right here on News Nation.
Catch News Nation on any of those channels you see on the left of your screen there. You can also head to newsnation.com.
We're still holding on to clear skies for the rest of the evening tonight. Very warm for the afternoon, but very breezy conditions as well. That continues throughout the weekend. Clear skies overnight tonight on the First Warn Interactive Radar from Rockford Auto Glass and more. But as we warm throughout the rest of the weekend, we're close to 80 degrees for tomorrow afternoon. Officially 79 for Saturday, 77 for Sunday. A lot of that sunshine still throughout much of the weekend as well. So if you have any outdoor plans, make sure you get those in either this evening, Saturday, or Sunday, because then we're talking about some rain chances by the time we get to Monday. Those rain chances also cool our temperatures back down much closer to normal by next weekend.
All right, thanks, Jordan.
And thank you for spending some time with us. Stay safe.